Okay. Dude, so I went to a show last night and it was fucking incredible. It was probably it was like a glimpse into the world that I want to be a part of. And I'm not just talking about like in terms of music, I'm talking about on a greater scale. So, first of all, let me just say that like the spirit of music is very much alive in the local and DIY music scene, right? The spirit of community is very much alive in the local and DIY scene. And I wanted to talk about like the corruption of music over time, as music is basically a form of community. It's a form of expression that attracts people together and causes them to, do anything from like empathize, commiserate, right? Like accomplish goals. Music is kind of like a catch-all for humans in terms of being able to come together and turn our collective effort into something beautiful, right? And I mean, one of the things I just got to say is like, if you are missing community, which I think everybody is, you have to show up, right? You have to go to the local events around you, and you have to be somebody who's present in those experiences. You have to, because, I mean, this is, I brought up Google here, so, well, DuckDuckGo. I don't fuck with Google. But we're going to look up, right, like, this is what you want, right? This is what we're missing in music, right? Is we're missing, like, this. We want this. Look at this old, this forum is so funny. Okay, this picture is small as fuck, so you can't really see super clearly. I wonder if I can enlarge it. No, I can't, because it's an old photo. But look at this. Not a single phone in sight. Everybody's just enjoying the moment. They're present. I experienced that last night. Right? We don't want... This is not a call out to Sabrina Carpenter. I just want to get it. She's very popular, so I want to get. Okay, so first of all, notice how few like pictures there are. Here we go. This is a great example. Yet again, I'm not calling out Sabrina Carpenter specifically, but look how far she is from the crowd. Look at how not into it everybody is. Because they've all got their fucking phones up. Everybody is so hyper camera focused, right? This is a camera focused generation that we live in, right? Everybody is aware at all times that they're constantly like on film, or there's an opportunity of being on film. They're not really present. And look at this, like she's separated herself. Yet again, I'm not saying that that's not like a conspiracy thing. I'm not saying that Sabrina Carpenter is like enacting a conspiracy to like, be bigger and better than her fans. But I'm saying that this is like a culture that we've created. We've all co-created this together. And the pop starification of people has this effect where there's distance between the art and the community, right? There's a lot of distance there. There's security, right? She's got to be safe, obviously. But, like, we've created a very distant culture. Everybody is distant. Nobody wants to be together and connect and be in the muck and the gunk. And, like, where's that photo? Here, I'm going to pull up another one. Nirvana. I'm using Nirvana as an example because I feel like they're a very commonly known example. If you've seen any live footage of Nirvana playing, even when they were like, big, even when they were doing stuff like this, right? There was a connection between them and the audience. There's banter. They're connecting. Look at this. They're on the same playing field as the crowd. People are like doing whatever the fuck they want. And there's a respect because of that. There is a respect. And part of that is because there's not this like, camera-ification of everything where the virality driven attitude of I've got to get clicks, I've got to get views, I've got to stand out. I'm always on camera. I'm always looking at like, where's the camera at? Where's the camera so that I can become the center of attention, right? It's very antisocial. It's a very, very antisocial way of looking at things. Like, this is community. This is everybody being together for really what music was created for, to share a moment, to share an experience. And the spirit of this still exists. There's just no money in it anymore because it does not serve the interests of the 1% to put money into this. Because what they're afraid of is they're afraid of people getting together and seeing themselves in each other. They're afraid of people empathizing on a great scale. They're afraid of things like this that create bonding, that create a sense of shared communal power, right? Like the show that I was at the other night, they raised money for a local nonprofit, and it was amazing how willing people are, even people who don't have money to give, to put money towards something when they know it comes from a selfless place, right? That's what we're missing. It's like you wonder why we don't have fun, thriving communities where like cool stuff is happening. Nobody's participating in creating that. Because the future that they want for you, right? I'm going to look. What should I look up? There's so many things I can look up for this. This is so funny. Here we go. All right. And we're going to cut into this. This is the future that they want for you, right? Completely cut off from anyone except through channels that they can control. Nobody fucking wants this. Nobody really, really wants this. And there are so many things that are keeping us from experiencing this. One of these things is like, there's this crazy age thing. It's like people feel as though having an experience like this is something that is like reserved for people in your early 20s, and then you age out of it. And then it's like you can only get this experience if you turn it into your work, right? Because everything at a certain point is expected to turn into your work. Like, are we thinking about what the world is that we want to create when we accept these ideas blindly? When did it become like, okay, you hit 25, now everything's got to be work. If it's not work, it's not meaningful. Again, the ladder for meaningful work is being condensed into channels that are purely antisocial, purely like through the means of the internet. So people aren't even like, it's not about like just the act of growing up and like working in your community is something to be admired, but the work that we're doing as a society is no longer based in our communities. It's heavily antisocial. It's all like stupid white collar bullshit that does not connect us in any way, shape, or form, right? If you growing up and going into work means that you're going to be further steeped in helping the people around you create a stronger sense of community and like fulfilling the pillars that build that community up, then yes, of course, all for that. That's amazing. That's an amazing role to mature into, and that's something I think everybody should mature into. But not this that we're creating, not this where we're just staring at our devices all day and we're filling out meaningless paperwork and we're not actually interacting with people. And the only things that we say to each other are, hi, how are you? I'm good. You too, etc., yada, yada, yada. People are so afraid, like the resistance to this world that nobody wants, but everybody is too afraid to resist is just be fucking like vulnerable and be okay with being cringed. The cringeification of everything is part of this. It's like, oh no, I don't want to seem too cringe. I don't I don't want to like look like I'm not acting my age. Like I don't want to seem like I'm being something that could be vulnerable and like real and raw. Brother, we're all cringe. Everybody's cringe. We have to get over this fear of vulnerability, this fear of like shared experiences. It transcends like all of these stupid things that these labels that we've applied to ourselves that just keep us locked in place. Oh no, I'm so afraid to be cringe. I don't want to feel like I'm somebody that people are looking at. I only want people to look at me when they're admiring me, is really what that is. I only want people to look at me when they're showing me admiration, when I look cool, right? When people look at me and I want them to see me as somebody who's cool. And you know what that does? That does this. That removes you, if you are somebody who actually succeeds in doing that, right? And even if you don't, like most people look their role model is this. Yet again, I'm gonna say this for the 50th time. I'm not calling out Sabrina Carpenter for this. I'm just using her as an example because she's a big artist. But you'll see this everywhere. Everybody is guilty of this. Separating themselves from other people out of a desire to look cool, out of a desire to not be cringe. And one of the reasons, just to talk about Sabrina Carpenter a little bit, one of the reasons why people actually do become this level of like star is because there is a part of them that is vulnerable enough to express there is something in her that people are attracted to that is real and is raw and is expressing herself. It's just that like, unfortunately, she's being used by a machine that is completely like clamping down on people's sense of individuality. This real, raw connectivity. Everybody admires Kurt Cobain because he was so unwilling to do that. He did not and in a way, Kurt was very real because he was struggling with this dichotomy inside of him, this desire to like be a cool star, but at the same time, the totally uncontrollable human part of him that completely rejected anything that meant. And so he was a walking dichotomy, which is the purest example of humanity that we could ever see. It's like, it's everything that we are. It is just pure imperfect like conundrum. It's like a walking cognitive dissonance, which is why he was always rejecting everything that he was saying and everything that everyone else was saying all the time. It's part of the reason why he was so dissatisfied. He's like fighting against a world where that's not acceptable, where you can't be imperfect like that. Because this imperfection is natural. It's natural to be cringe. It's natural to be fucking weird. It's natural to stand around and not know what to say and to just be in the presence of people and be uncomfortable. And we're so repulsed by ever wanting to go through that now we've alienated ourselves from ever feeling real connection again. And it's not irreversible. And that's what is like so frustrating to me is it's like when I do go out and I do meet with people and I have these amazing experiences, it's like it is people will be like, "Oh, thank you so much for like coming out and like thank you so much for making an effort to connect with me," because that's all it takes. And people look at that as like something that is like now you're an exemplary person. Like now you're like a model of like you're like a hero for just going out and talking to someone and being vulnerable and not being afraid to be cringe, right? To like actually be yourself. Like now you're a hero for doing that when that's like I'm not saying this out of like some moral high ground. The life that you want is there. And it's not hard. That's the life that you want. The life where you're building a community in whatever field, like the life where you're just where everything that you want to achieve, the sense of community, the shared resources, the vulnerability, the comfortability with yourself, the ability for you to feel comfortable inside. That all just comes from being raw and being real and being here and now with people, being cringe, being vulnerable, being awkward. and not tying stupid bullshit like, oh, I'm too old to do that into it, or like, oh, when I grow up, right, that means that I disconnect from everyone and I go work some stupid, meaningless white-collar job that separates me from my community, and the only people I talk to are my family, if I talk to my family at all, or my roommates, as it's increasingly becoming, or my husband, or my kids. That's stupid. And then maybe I have like a D&D group, right? The only thing that I do is I have a D&D group that I play with, or like I go online and I like talk to my friends in like Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, or I play Fortnite with my friends or something. You know, I have my Discord community. That's fucking bullshit. It's stupid. It's not the connection that we want. It's not. It's not. You don't have to get along with everybody. You don't have to, but we're all on this planet, and unless you want to commit genocide, you're going to have to be okay being uncomfortable with people. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because, you know, I'm going to continue just putting myself out there in these situations, and it will either become increasingly more unique, that I will become a part of an increasingly small group of people that do that, or everybody will decide to get over their stupid fears that mean nothing and get out and actually, you know, create the lives that they want for themselves again. You make your choice. So anyway, thanks for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next time if I see you next time. Bye-bye.